I wanted my father to understand that he was dying, and I would make sure of it. Growing up, my dad had one rule: don't cry, ever. He said emotions made you soft, made you weak, made you nothing. When I was 8, my older brother Kevin died in a car accident. Some drunk driver hit him on his way home from work. At the funeral, I couldn't hold it in anymore. I sobbed into my hands, my whole body shaking. My dad grabbed my shoulder so hard it hurt and whispered in my ear, "You're embarrassing me. Stop it." I remember looking around at all the people crying, wondering why I was the only one who wasn't allowed to. When I was 12, I broke my leg during soccer tryouts. I heard the crack, felt the pain shoot up my whole body. I screamed for help. My dad showed up, took one look at me on the ground and said, "Get up, walk it off." I told him I couldn't move it. He said I was being dramatic. I had to wait until another parent called an ambulance. The bone had snapped clean through. The doctor asked why we waited so long. My dad said I was exaggerating the pain. I had asthma as a kid, bad asthma. I'd wake up in the middle of the night gasping for air, lungs burning, feeling like I was drowning on dry land. My dad would hear me and yell from his room, "Stop being such a wheezy little baby. Go back to sleep." He never got me an inhaler, said I just needed to toughen up and breathe better. By the time I turned 25, I started having panic attacks. Out of nowhere, my chest would tighten, my hands would shake, and I'd feel like the walls were closing in. I didn't know what was happening to me. I thought I was dying. Therapy helped. Took 2 years, but I learned how to deal with it. My therapist said I'd been holding everything in since I was a kid. She said my body was just trying to let it all out. I didn't talk to my dad much after I moved out. Maybe once a year on Christmas. Short calls, awkward silences. Then last spring, he called me. Said he had lung cancer, terminal. The doctors gave him 6 months, maybe less. I almost laughed when he told me. The guy who mocked my asthma my whole life couldn't breathe anymore. The irony was so thick I could taste it. He asked if I could help him, drive him to appointments, be there for him. I said yes, but I had conditions. He agreed without even asking what they were. I took him to every single appointment, but I made sure he heard everything. When the doctor explained what would happen, I leaned in close and whispered, "You listening? You're dying. This is the end of your story." I watched his face. He looked scared. Good. At home, I took away his extra pillows, left him one thin blanket. When he complained, I said he needed to build lung strength. When he couldn't sleep at night because he couldn't breathe, I'd make him describe it. "Where's the pain? How bad is it? What's it feel like?" Then I'd nod and walk away. One night, I played old voice recordings on my phone. Recordings of me as a kid, wheezing and gasping for air during asthma attacks. I held the phone up to his ear. "Sound familiar?" I asked. He turned his head away. I played it again. In his last week, he could barely talk. He was drowning in his own lungs, just like the doctor said. One night, he grabbed my hand and cried. Actually cried. He asked me, "Why are you doing this to me?" I looked him dead in the eyes and said, "I want you to feel every inch of it," because I did, and you told me I was faking. He died the next morning. I sat with him for 10 minutes after, not because I loved him, just to make sure he finally understood.